So here we are at the compound restaurant game. This game goes along with lesson 13 in your book, which deals with forming compounds from ions. This game will give your students many opportunities to practice writing compound names, symbols, and formulas. The setup of this game is much like the teamwork game that you've played in past lessons. Basically, how the game is set up is that you are the customer in a restaurant, and you'll find yourself, like with the teamwork games, stationed at the front of the classroom. In our example here, we have two restaurants, which are basically two teams set up which are competing for your business. In our example, we're going to have Sally's Cafe, and then we have Joe's Diner set up here. And the students are arranged at three tables, and like the teamwork game, they'll have different jobs according to where they're seated at. The students at the table farthest from you are called the food preparers. They're the ones who take the raw ingredients and get them ready for their teammates who are seated at the next table forward, which are the chefs. And then at the table nearest to you, there are two teammates which serve as the cashier or the clerk for the restaurant. Now the students at the farthest table, the food preparers here, each have their own set of the ion flashcards. And those ion flashcards, we have a few here, are the cards you'll find in your manipulative booklet that'll have an ion name on one side, and then on the opposite side of the card they have the symbol and charge. And so for this first level, or this lowest level of the game, what you'll do is within that ion flashcard set is you'll want to only use the monoatomic ions. If you recall, it's those ions that are only composed of one element. And so you'll take out the polyatomic ions, the ones that are more difficult, that will be introduced in lesson 14. So at this table here, each student now needs their own set of the monoatomic ion flashcards. They'll also need some sort of tray on which to place the prepared food. In our example here, we're just going to use a cookie sheet. If you have any kind of serving trays, or even a paper plate would work. And then what you'll do is you'll place an order for the restaurant, and the order consists of just a compound name. In our example here, we're going to use sodium chloride, and so it's the job then of the food preparers back here to sort through their cards, and they may work out strategies of arranging their cards in order to find them more quickly. If for the food order sodium chloride, it'll be their job to find the cards which make up that compound. So we've got these here, so they're going to find all the sodium cards, and then, put you back, and then they'll also put all the chloride cards on the tray. So this is the prepared food. It's the raw ingredients for the dish that's going to be made, and what they'll do is another teammate which stands out on the ends of the table here serves as the waiter, and it's their job then to carry the tray to the chefs at the next table forward. Now at this table, the job of the chef is to remove excess cards that are not necessary in order to create the compound. So in our example of sodium chloride, your students should realize, and they can turn the cards over certainly and look at them, that we've got the sodium is a +1 charge and the chloride is a -1 charge. So in order to make the stable compound, sodium chloride, it's only going to take one of each card, one of each type. The charges then, the +1 and the -1 will add to 0, so it'll be Na1Cl1. It takes one of each. So it's the job then of the chef to remove these excess cards, and they'll just take them off the tray. And this, what's left here, the sodium and chloride card, is the completed compound. It takes one of each to do that. And then they'll pass the tray forward then to the cashier for the restaurant. So we've got the waiter here, and she'll take the tray then, and she'll bring it forward to the cashier. So she'll have the 2 cards on it. Now it's the job of the cashier to prepare the check for you, the customer. So, and this is Sally here. So on Sally's check sheet here, she's going to write out the compound symbol and charge for you. So using the cards if necessary, she'll write the Na +1 and then the Cl -1, and then she'll also have to put how many cards or how many ions of each it took to make the stable compound. So in this case, it's 1 sodium atom for every 1 chloride atom to make the stable compound sodium chloride. Then finally, she'll make sure that this check, the bill for the meal, goes into the tray, and then she'll give that back to the waiter. It's the job of the waiter then to bring that to you, present it to you, the customer. And then, because most restaurants rely both on speed and quality of the food that they produce, the team that presents you the completed compound written correctly on the check, and then the dish itself, which were the cards, correctly presented, that team that's able to do that most accurately and most quickly wins the round, which earns them 2 points. And then if the opposing team, the opposing restaurant, is also successful at completing the task, and they present you, like in this example, if Joe's Diner was also able to bring you the dish, but maybe just a little bit slower, they also earn at least 1 point for their efforts. Now, once a round is complete, all the cards go back to the food preparers back here, and they may organize and get them sorted again in order to find them quickly. And then the waiter then will return the tray back to those food preparers, and then you can begin another round. We suggest you play with the workers in your restaurant at these positions for 3 to 4 or 5 rounds, and then you can have them rotate, where the students who were the cashiers can come back and become food preparers, and these food preparers become the chefs move forward, and so forth. We suggest you play this for several rounds and utilize all those monoatomic ions that your students have been learning. And you can play competitively, as we've kind of suggested here, or you can play cooperatively, set point values, and that as the teams get to those point values, then you can stop and go to the practice pages then in your student lesson. One more thing we'd like to mention here is that while we've only played this game so far using the monoatomic ions in your ion flashcard set, as we move into the next lesson, which is lesson 14, where we introduce the polyatomic ions, you can also obviously play this game as well. The students that here at the food preparers here will then have a more elaborate set. They'll have all the monoatomic ion cards as well as the polyatomic ion cards, and then that makes play really intense and very exciting. So we hope you enjoy this compound restaurant game. It's a very fun one, and I think your students will really have a fun time playing it with you.